my husband and son are asleep right now, I figured that now is the time to go over the events of the day. My little boy went to the dentist for the first time today, and I was pretty apprehensive. I was afraid that he was going to cry like crazy. The first time we tried to brush his teeth, he really was upset and didn't like us putting anything in his mouth, so I was nervous about that. I was worried also that they were going to find something wrong. And considering that we night nurse, I was definitely worried that there was going to be dental decay. And so I was really, unfortunately, delaying little L's dental visit. But I was very fortunate that things went really well today, that his dentist was extremely encouraging and supportive, and that the hygienists and everybody at the office were excellent. So this was a very positive experience that I'm going to be describing to you. Our dentist was Dr. Rachel Mayer, who is based in Wilmington, Delaware, at a practice she calls Dentistry for Children. And I was quite struck with the cleanliness of the office. They had toys all in the waiting room when we came in that my son was able to play with. They had books, and they had a little video playing on TV, so it was a very conducive situation to him getting used to things and feeling comfortable in the office. We were asked to come about half an hour early, during which we filled out paperwork, and I was glad to know that the questions that we answered, the history we answered, was addressed during the visit. It wasn't simply ignored. There was considerable wait time because I was there half an hour before the appointment, but for the first 15 minutes we were in the waiting room. Then we were called back into a room that had 3 chairs that were all next to each other. At first I thought that this was a bit crowded, but the nice thing about the situation was that Elle and I were sitting right in the middle, and we were watching other children get dental work. They were all very calm. The kids were actually friendly and were occasionally playing with him. And he was able to, look at the chairs, touch the chairs, look at the toys around, see the video playing, and he really got acclimated and got comfortable to the environment. So I was actually glad that we spent the majority of our waiting time in the office itself watching the children. So by the time it came to be Lakshman's turn to get his teeth examined, he was perfectly willing to sit in my lap. They had me sit him in my lap facing me, and then he laid down with his head in the lap of the hygienist. The hygienist then asked a flavor of toothpaste that I preferred, and she got to work cleaning, and it was a very quick job cleaning. That she actually manually brushed his teeth 3 times. They don't use the electrical equipment during a first set of dental visits, and they don't do any kind of separate fluoride treatment. The main fluoride treatment is in the toothpaste that they use, because in general, children under 2 who do not have an ability to spit are not encouraged to use toothpaste regularly. So they just do a one-time use of fluoridated toothpaste to get some fluoride to the children, but if they spit it out, there's not that much being put in. I was very struck by the hygienist's bedside manner. She was very, very friendly. The office was completely quiet while I was in it, and so when my son initially had some hesitation opening his mouth and crying, they had no problem with me singing to him softly, and he then easily opened his mouth. He remained calm for the visit, and we were able to really get his teeth examined very nicely. And I was very pleased to see how they were doing the brushing. That was, I think, one of the key important things about the visit. They do very little at these dental visits. You don't get x-rays done when they're so small. But actually watching them go through the brushing process and seeing how thoroughly they can actually brush a child's teeth, just with a cooperative child, was very striking to me. I think I've been a little bit too tentative in the way that I've been brushing Lakshman's teeth. I also appreciated the quickness of the exam. The hygienist went through her whole cleaning process, which took less than 10 minutes. It took very little time. They offered him a toy. They gave him a toothbrush. And at the end, the dentist came in to do her exam, and she was extremely quick. It took her, probably about 3 minutes from start to finish, examining his teeth, counting them, checking for cavities. She was certainly thorough, and because we were night nursers again, I was very worried that there were going to be cavities. Unfortunately, there weren't any. But she was very focused. She didn't tell me stop night nursing right now, which is what I was afraid to hear. Instead, she said, really focus on brushing behind the back front teeth, because that is where the bacteria can hide, and that is where children can have the most significant decay. So I like the fact that she was willing to work with me and be supportive, considering the choices that we've made otherwise with our son. So I encourage you all to take your children to the dentist. Things went really well for us. We were, from start to finish, we were there for about an hour, but that's from getting in the office to leaving the office. So it was a very, there was some waiting, but it was quick. I do encourage that you try to do a pediatric dentist. Make sure that they let you get acclimated. Make sure that the office is clean, because that's an important aspect of any dental office. And try not to be too afraid. Things will go well, and just be ready to be there and soothe your child during the visit. But hopefully it should go very well. And as the American Dental Association recommends, and what I basically recommend, is avoiding sugary drinks, avoid sugary beverages, and avoid bottles, all of which can allow bacterial growth to be in the mouth. Especially avoiding bottles in bed, because that prolonged small amount of milk or whatever liquid you're using will really cause some bad decay in a child's tooth. And brush twice a day using as soft a toothbrush as you can find for the baby. And hopefully things will turn out all right with regular checkups and with diligence about a dental visit. Things should go great. And it's never too early to learn flossing. I learned that my son tolerated flossing very well in the office, so that's something that we're going to add to his regimen. So thank you for watching, and happy brushing.